now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Hey, yo, back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty here in the house. Terry Foster out on Tuesdays, but we'll be squad deep in here again tomorrow. Sam Flannel in the building. We got Westy on the ones and twos. Alex Westfall here in the building as well. Spencer Raxter, he's out on business. He's taking care of business.
He's lucky he's out on business because if the Fat Boys were out there playing late last night, I just saw the congratulations to the Woodward Heavyweights with their inaugural Monday Night Football show debut from the Coliseum.
At the Coliseum on 8 Mile.
Awesome. Coliseum on 8 Mile, and the boys had a lot of fun. I saw a lot of this during the broadcast, and then the Lions, and then the heads were, and then Easy got better, and then his eyes would just shift back and forth, but we'll get to it. Thank you for everybody who watched them and supported, and it's all about having fun. Woodward Sports about the people, but now we're back to business.
Absolutely. They got a good lesson in professionalism. It's not as easy as we make it look, D-Mac.
Spencer's not sleeping in, and he's not, he's not playing hurt or anything like that. They're out working.
They're out working.
They got some videos and stuff.
They're about business,
They're
man.
about business. You taught them well, kid.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but happy to have you all with us here today. You guys know the drill. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Jump in our chat thread. Get your thoughts out there. I'll read them. Much more efficient than a phone call. Doesn't drag the show down and everything like that. We can cycle through, get everybody involved as the show shakes itself out. And, follow everybody on social media, too. Social media handles on the screen. All that. But here's the deal. I know we're at that time of year. And we're going to get into the Lion stuff. I have some questions. Sam Flannel, the Aiden Hutchinson slappy, we'll talk to him coming up in just a few minutes. But here's the deal. I know it's the season, right? You get into September, you see fall, you wake up in the morning, it's a little crisp, all that stuff. Jenna Newman, who's a faithful listener, viewer of the show, we appreciate it. We certainly do. On social media, she was out shopping in and around Metro Detroit and saw what was it, candy corn mugs and stuff like that. Was moved to snap a picture of it, send it to me on social media, say, hey, it made me think about you. I was thinking about buying it and stuff like that. You guys saw the video over the weekend when I was down in Florida. Some of the producers thought they would be cute and put a bag of candy corn on my desk.
Can we just stop, just to pause, right? Just so you know. It's not just in Michigan. It's carrying throughout the country.
And that was going to be the point of it.
I just wanted people just to say that this is taking a mind. It's creative. So continue.
So all down in Florida, South Florida here, it does. Guys, stop with it. All right? Stop thinking of me about when you see it. Stop sending it out on social media. I know that we're in the midst of it, and it's only going to get worse. I understand that. We don't want it. You don't want it. I don't want it. Nobody buys it. I got another picture from somebody today of the picture of the candy corn display. Boxes, all full, because nobody bought any. And those boxes, were... Stop it, Mike. Those boxes were full last year. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. I don't want it sent to me. Just enough. Enough. I know that it's funny. Look, I get it, okay? I get it, it's funny, and you think it's funny and stuff like that. I understand it, but just enough. Nobody wants it. Nobody's eating it. Nobody needs it. And that's it, D-Mac. We move on.
Now, what about the conspiracy theorists in the chat that said you created your own candy corn conspiracy? Just like what? I just said the people are speaking. I just want to know. I'm all into those. The Y Network, the channel, the Ghost Hunter, all that stuff like this. I'm just saying, Jake Wagner, your boy, might be onto something. Just saying. Guys, don't send Neal anymore.
Don't need it.
Don't do it.
I don't need it. I don't want it. It's not funny. It's not new. Not.
It's funny. It's funny, Neal. It's not funny. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Send them. No, I mean, don't send them.
Chuck Brewer, Neal single-handedly keeping candy corn in business. No, I'm not, because I've been sent the pictures. None of it's gone ever.
I forgot. Candy corn or cream of wheat? Who wins?
I would eat cream of wheat before I ate candy corn.
There you go. That's it. You got them. Don't send them any more candy corn. Cream of wheat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rich Diana. Here's my statement. Rich Diana has issued a statement on my behalf. It's wax-infused sugar. If you want to put that in your body, go ahead. I'm not here to stop you from doing what you want to do. You do you. I'm gonna do me. And candy corn's not involved. It's not, and most normal people are not. See, the problem's not with me. The problem's with you. You people out there that consume the candy corn and push the candy corn agenda. At this point, you don't even like it. You're just doing it. You're just doing it to be contrarian. That's all you're doing.
See, and Neal, when I always say don't tell me what, tell me who, just the fact that people would take that moment out of their day to think about you.
Right, and I'm saying it's not needed.
And Neal Ruhl. Well, it's a not connection. Needed. Sometimes it's not. Like I'm connected to March 26, 97 and Turtles, and
I don't want to be. You want to be connected to that. I don't want to be connected to candy corn.
Okay.
I hate it. It's gross.
Okay. But it's Halloween coming up. It's out there.
And I got 8 more weeks. Well, about 6 more weeks left, right? I can take it though.
How many more trips? We'll just see. But I'm just intrigued. It's popping up all over the country. Not just here. Not just Jenna.
What does concern me about it is like the flavored iterations, the tailgate candy corns. And then I get it too, inevitably. I get it at Thanksgiving. Less of you. I don't get it. I don't get like 4 of them a day like I do now. But around Thanksgiving, it pops up there. Thanksgiving dinner flavored candy corn. And then the Christmas candy corn. No.
Benji the Goat brings up a great point. Isn't it just like ornamental? It's like decor. Right?
No,
candy
people eat it.
Halloween
Benji to go, people eat it. And you put it out when you have a party, and you look over there, and there's that one nasty uncle that's got his hand in there eating it, and then he's like eating it off his fingers, and then he puts that same nasty hand in that same nasty bowl of candy corn and takes more out of it and starts eating. That's the nasty uncle. We all got one. Look at you all laughing. Look at you all. You're all laughing right now watching this because you know it's true. You got that nasty uncle that pounds on that candy corn.
Man, you know this, man.
You do. And call him out. Call him out on it.
Yeah.
Say, look, not only are you nasty for eating candy corn, you're the nasty uncle of the family, and clean it up.
Clean it up. Is the nasty uncle usually the black sheep, or are they two different people?
I don't know.
Okay,
yeah.
Sometimes. Sam, you might be getting accused of maybe being that uncle. Would you put your hand in the candy corn dish?
No,
Okay.
of course not. I'm not a psychopath.
You're not he's not a psychopath, people. He's a killer. Remember that.
Lane Hartman says, I'm that nasty uncle. Ha ha. Yes, you are. If you put your hand in the candy corn bowl, it's supposed to be I was told it's ornamental. But then at Christmas time, somebody's going to pop up and send it to me. All they do, guys, is replace the orange and yellow with the red and the green. Ooh. And you guys all fall for it. All you candy corn, you all fall for it. It's the same thing.
You know what? Rake has sheer brilliance here. As you know, Rake and I are huge hardcore death match wrestling fans. We were at the Circle 6 championship on Friday, and he said, you know what candy corn might be good for? 10 years shelf life. It's like thumbtacks in a death match. We could throw them out there. I might get Tommy to use
a candy corn match.
Just candy corn.
Hey, if you guys get him to do it, I'll come be the ring announcer for that match.
There you go, Rick. You hear that?
I'll be the ring announcer for that match, and I'll run the interference.
I love it. Instead of Legos, I'm gonna get at Halloween. I'm gonna get Tommy to throw in candy corn. Donald, let me know what you think about that.
Here we go. You guys are cute, man. Like I love it. Colbzilla candy corn. I came back just in time. He changed his little profile picture of the candy corn piece. Ha ha ha. Colbzilla's funny. Look at Colbzilla. Everyone, give him his flowers. Everybody, check him out. Give him the attention he wants. Yeah, we love you. We love you, Cobesville. Thanks for watching the show. We appreciate you. Look at you. Acknowledge you.
Notice me.
Yeah. We notice you, my friend, okay? Is that enough, Cobesville? Let me know when we're done, okay? Let me know when we're done giving you the attention. Did you get enough attention for today, Cobezilla? Okay? It's cute. Anything else? Iowa football is the candy corn of football. That's true. That's true. Is it still going to be a big win?
No. I mean, they got 14 points in 2 games, 1 touchdown in 2 games, 2 safeties in a game. That's bad. Iowa sucks. Awful.
Right.
Eyesore for football.
So that is true. I just wanted to put that out there. Andrew Klingerman, would you eat a bag of candy corn for a Lions playoff win? My gut says no, but I would have to be. That's one of those things.
We're not talking to your gut. We're talking to your heart.
I know, but D-Mac, I don't know. I don't know
100%
until
I would.
I don't know until we're in the moment.
I need a jar of olives for a playoff win right now, and I hate olives.
Yeah, I mean, I did it for $2,000 for Special Olympics. I did do it.
You ate a whole thing of candy corn for Special Olympics?
Not like a whole thing. Like one of those, those
like enough to get disgusted.
Enough to where, dude, I did it during halftime of an Oakland basketball game on TV, and my face turned like bright red. I was working with Lauren. I was working with Lauren Jabara at the time, and like I looked, she was taking a video, and I looked over. I'm like, am I gonna die? Like my face turned bright red. I got all flush and everything. It was awful.
Anything for charity.
I will. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll do it for that. Well, I'm going to do it for $5,000 next time for Special Olympics. See, you learn your lessons. Well, I thought it'd be cute, right? I'd be like, it's Special Olympics Day at the Detroit City match. We put out the GoFundMe link. I said, hey, for $2,000, I'll eat candy corn at halftime of this game. I'm thinking there's no way they're going to raise $2,000, and they raised the $2,000 in an hour and a half.
Wow.
And then I knew right away I didn't ask for enough money.
People like this, yeah. Well, there you go.
So there you have it.
Anybody else like to see Neal?
Stop! No.
I'm just saying.
No. Stop. Are we to the break yet? No, we still got a couple minutes. Damn. No, D-Mac was in and around some Red Wings folks yesterday at the Ted Lindsay golf outing. We'll have an update a little later. How was it?
It was awesome. It was awesome, as you can see.
The Ted Lindsay outing's a great outing.
Sure, for everybody here.
Yeah. It's a great outing.
It is, I think, 11 years now. And, the biggest thing, it was held at Detroit Golf Club. But like I said, we'll get into after the break got to meet Coach Lalonde for the first time. Jacob Verana was there, Pi Suter, Billy Husso, a bunch of the coaches and stuff, along with the, ton of the alumni. But, Neal, the most intriguing thing to me about Ted Lindsay is that he started the Autism Foundation. He doesn't have a child with autism. It was his friends. His friend had a child. And what they've been able to do and to listen to over 11 years in doctors and having where they honor a child and they honor a family that's gone through this. And you can see the impact. It, choked me up, but it just goes to show you.
It does get you every time at the Ted Lindsay outing.
And here's the thing. The thing that I'm proud of, too, is that Ted's been gone for 4 years, and his foundation is still going as strong as ever. And that's to the legacy of Ted Lindsay. You can say, as terrible Ted that he was and everything that he won in the stats and stuff like this on the ice, but the man that he was off the ice. I always say there's after my dad passed away, there was 3 men that held accountability to me. It was Paul W. Smith's one, because was good friends with my dad, Steve Yzerman, and then Ted Lindsay. So whenever I'm not doing things well, I avoid those guys.
On the YouTube chat thread, Rack says, Neal loved the kids. Prag Patel, Neal could get one of his butlers to eat it. So, yeah, maybe. But the moral of the story is, guys, like, yes, you think it's funny and cute and everything like that. But if you send me something, if you send it to the studio, if you send it somewhere I'm working, if it's a mug, I'm smashing it on the ground and taking video of it.
But if you send it to me, then we can incorporate it in a sly little way before it gets broke, and we could make fun of it, maybe.
No. If you send it to me, I'm throwing it in the garbage instantly. And it's all on video, so you'll have just wasted your money. So if you guys want to do that, then go ahead and do that. I don't care. We got to talk Detroit Lions when we come back. I slept on it. And I got some questions, some critical questions that we need to discuss, get D-Mac's take as well, after I tell you about Cintron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. They've combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into the 6-pack sampler box in a Red Wings-themed package. Try Cintron's great-tasting cranberry, classic, and sugar-free, all in one package. And you can order at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron, and let's go Red Wings.
You're an ugly guy, and that's okay because you've outkicked your coverage with your significant other. Well, that's good news for you. Their hotness and your notness could get you front row tickets. The Woodward Sports Network is giving you a chance to sit front row for the Detroit versus Washington football game. That's right. We're looking for the ugliest guy and the hottest girl. So fellas, come on. If you know you've outkicked your coverage, here's your chance. Post a pic of you and your superior-looking partner on Twitter or Instagram with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Follow us and tag at Woodward Sports. Hurry, because we'll be selecting a winner September 16th. We can't wait to see you. Well, her. From the network that always outkicks the competition. Woodward Sports.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Neal Ruhl here for the Monroe Street Midway. Summer is hanging on by a thread. We are supposed to push 90 coming up this weekend and into the middle of next week as well. So if you're going to be downtown, stop by the Monroe Street Midway. That's going until September 25th. Experience roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. A fun, safe event for everyone, ages 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. If you're one of the dozens that are still going down to the Tigers game, slide on over downtown. Go to the Monroe Street Midway and go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. We'll see you at the Midway. They're still playing. Like, the Tigers are still playing.
I ran into also Craig Monroe and Matt Shepard, and they were there for the first half for a few holes of the golf tournament.
Why didn't they just stay for the whole thing? They weren't missing anything.
I sort of mentioned that, and you know who I felt the worst for? Right? Yesterday, the heavyweights are having so much fun, shooting pictures from Coliseum and stuff. And poor Rogelio, our boy Rogelio Castillo, is down there
grinding every day. Just put a cardboard cutout of yourself there.
Shout out to you, Raj, you poor guy. Yeah. It'll be over soon.
Shut out for what, the 21st time of the season? 21st. You only play 160 games.
How bad is that, Neal?
21st time of the season, dude. Whatever, man.
Oh, hell no.
Whatever. Before we get in lines, I did want to talk about this. And I know a lot of you guys saw it. When Russ Wilson came out of the tunnel for Monday Night Football in Seattle last night, I think it's safe to say he was received a little differently than Matt Stafford was received here after he asked out and tapped out. He got worn out yesterday.
No, I mean, like, they talk about the 12th man or whatever in Seattle and stuff like that. They let him know. They were all up, and the way that the game played out, I mean, I don't even know, but you have to, that's a team that's won a championship, and they won a Super Bowl with this guy and stuff like this. But that's a fan base who you're either with us or against us, and I think that, you know, I guess, is it a fact that because we haven't won a playoff game since 1991? You know what I'm saying? And most people, in their lifetime. A lot of the Lions fans, so they don't know how to act. That's how, I guess, when you've won a championship or when you know what winning is like, or have expectations and see that a guy leaves instead of, more of the Stafford thing, more of the Russ is you quit thing, more of the Stafford thing is go save yourself. You know what I'm saying? That to me, I think that's. Oh, we gotta, there's a lot of the Lions fan base that is like, oh, Matt Stafford got out and he got away from us and we were the problem and that's why he won. And they were happy for him that way, right? In Seattle, that's not the case. They're bitter because they won with him before and they let him know. And I thought it was awesome. That to me, that was sports, right? To me, that was wrestling. That was like the heel, who's the bad guy in wrestling, coming out and getting the boos of the whole stadium.
Right.
Because you know why, Neal? Because it was natural. Like that.
Oh, you could tell, yeah.
No, it wasn't manufactured. Like, we got to boo this guy, and there was no hemming and haws. To the 12th man, which means all their whole fan base, right? Would you say that if I said 95% of the people were booing? Is that what
fair.
it sounded? That's fair.
That's
okay.
a fair estimate. That is a fair estimate. Prag Patel says, yeah, but Wilson was actively trying to get out. Stafford never complained, at least publicly. See, no, I'm not letting that one slide, dude. You think that he was like, no, don't trade me. And they're like, no, we're trading. Like, come on, guys.
I think the fact that Barry quit, Calvin walked.
No, they retired.
Barry retired, Calvin retired, right? So the fact that it was, with Stafford, he was given some leniency.
See,
he was given
but
lenience.
even Barry, though, and I know, guys, I know
He
we've
was
had this
given
before,
lenience.
but this just pops in my head. Barry never complained. All he did was show up and ball out. And there were people with 20 jerseys with quitter on the back and stuff like that. You see what happened in Seattle with Russell Wilson. They hated that man. But
that just doesn't that tell you that they hated him before he left? Like, the hate had started in the last few years, after.
Why, though? I mean,
because they stopped winning or whatever. Yeah, it's that festered. Neal, it's like that festered up to the fan base, and then when he quit on them and walked out and went to Denver. So, I mean, karma's right there. I mean, I don't know what blew me away more about that game is it just shows the big thing, like I talked to you before the show about, was like, young coaches don't learn how to coach anymore, right? The worst coaching decisions, it's like almost go play Madden for a month and you might be better. You saw it again last night, along with how many times, and you can't, I don't care who you are, you can't fumble the ball twice inside the 5-yard line, if you expect to win in this league. So,
and here's the thing too, and talk about the Russell Wilson thing. Nicholas S. says, if he isn't with us, then he's against us. And that's always been my mantra with it. Like, when I got in that argument with Terry and a lot of you about the Grant Hill thing, he left, dude. Like, he said, I want out of here. Justin Verlander did the same thing. Left. Said, I want out of here. And that's why it's different with Scherzer to me, because they offered him some BS contract and I know it was BS because he got $70 million more from the Nationals. So that tells me that and you put out a press release about a player turning down a contract. That's why the Scherzer thing is different to me. He just wanted his money. That's why that's different. But going through all of it, all the way back, that's exactly what Nicholas S. That's my statement too. If you're not with us, then you're against us, and if you want out, then you're against us, man. And that's how I've been consistent with that forever, and that's how it is with me, D-Mac. I was. And I don't know if it was how the Stafford thing was here. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I wasn't prepared to see that last night.
But you're minority, right? You're in the minority of expectations, right? Where you have expectations. I used to say when Joy was here, that's not winning, Joy, right?
Yeah.
That's winning. That tells me that fan base, that's more of a winning, where the acceptability, where the line is drawn. Here, when you don't win, there is no line. You haven't established your line yet. We can establish it in
that's
the
fair. That's
hockey.
interesting.
So, you know what? So in all fairness, when you haven't established the line, and showed the way, like other teams in the NFL have, because they consistently do things, a certain way, it might be it. So that showed me more of maybe that pent up, and it wasn't like with the Russell Wilson thing, you know, if you ask a Seattle fan that was there, oh yeah, we started not liking him a few years ago, or didn't think he was our guy, didn't think he was all in. To me, isn't there the like?
And that's a guy that won a Super Bowl.
There's something to Russell Wilson that is just like fake.
Is it tone? Is it his tone?
That's what it is, Neal. I think that's what it is. It's his tone. And
you know what though? And look, to be fair, I do get those vibes from him too. I do like it. It's fake.
In his
it's
room
like,
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like if I saw Josh Allen dancing in his room, that makes more sense. But just
that's fair.
Just, is it because he's got Sierra and it's just all choreographed and he like wouldn't bang her until like they were married and stuff? Is that just like
like Tim Tebow?
Is that just too you know what I'm saying? Is it too? All American.
It does seem plastic. It does, man. Like
it seems Stepford Wives-ish.
Yeah, it does.
Does it not? I don't know.
That's
me?
fair. Yeah, that's fair. Jake says Russ had success in Seattle, Super Bowl success. Stafford was a guy we watched get held back by the organization. But he left like he wanted out, you know. And here's the thing too. Corey Perez says the Stafford marriage is over. I'm all for the Rams falling flat on their face this year. Won't be cheering for him to win games this year. LOL. I want him to scream F those picks with a top 15 pick from them. But it's, you know, I can't relate. I can't relate to that. I just can't. I don't know. Maybe it's a character flaw I have. I just can't relate.
But you got ability for a perfect storm for all the people that wanted Stafford to get out and win. That's last year, and then now hopefully his arm isn't good, and they shut him down. And this team's a 500 team or worse this year, right? Like we were talking about last week with the Rams. So you can have the best of both worlds in that because the pick that we're gonna get, we're still getting their pick this year. So. I guess it's just a different mentality, Neal. I guess it goes back to you have to get to the playoffs and win a game to establish sort of a line in the sand.
Yeah. And Fred Dow says it's a bit selfish to want great players to stay and suffer through horrible management like every team has in the city. See, that's not true. We've seen it. And that goes back to my point about rise up. Isaiah Thomas. He was winning a championship no matter where he went. He was. I'm convinced that Nick Lidstrom was going to win a championship no matter where he ended up. That's how he is one of the greatest of all time at what he did. You parlay him with Steve Yzerman, you know, the third best player on the planet, with Sergey. How is that not going to win? You know what I'm saying? Put in role players around him, Sam Flannel, wink, wink, nod, nod, that are elite at their jobs. That's how that's going to happen. But that goes back to people rising up. That's it. Like that's my point. To be a great player, someone that I admire, you have to rise up above all of it.
And you know what it is? Really what it is you make people around you better. All the greats that I surrounded myself was surrounded with weren't selfish in the way they made everybody around them better. Even the players that were sort of perceived selfish.
Right.
You know, like as an example before we go to break is like you'd think like a Brett Hall guy was just about goals. No, he was about sharing that knowledge about, you know, his mentality of how he shot it, about, you know, everybody knows where the scoring areas are, but not everybody knows when to get there.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, and different guys lead in different ways. So that, you know, that's the one thing too, Neal. Right, is Russell Wilson as this big leader and stuff like this, but did he make everybody else around him better? There's something that just, and it's not a bad guy, right? He's not a bad dude. It's just there's something that's a little bit schwarmy.
It does. I'm with you on that all the way.
The smell test.
It's not it's not the genuine article, the real thing like Guardian Alarm.
No, it's not. It's not. And by the way, Schultze, I agree. It does sort of say gate instead of grit. Doesn't it?
I know, I saw that too.
No, but I mean, I'm looking in the camera right here, and maybe that's the problem. We're not sure if we're running away.
Well, that defense was an open gate, but tell them about Guardian Alarm.
Open gate to get, yes, exactly. One thing we know for sure, Guardian Alarm, your local security experts keep you safe, give you peace of mind, whether you're at home or on the road 24/7 with local monitoring to make sure what is important to you is safe. So if you want to be part of the Woodward Sports Big D Energy. Family, give them a call, 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
You know they have how many straight days of flannel protection?
130.
130 straight days of protection. So give them a call, 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
And they can
Took
protect
exploring
whatever you
50
need
different
to.
formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
You're an ugly guy, and that's okay because you've outkicked your coverage with your significant other. Well, that's good news for you. Their hotness and your notness could get you front row tickets. The Woodward Sports Network is giving you a chance to sit front row for the Detroit versus Washington football game. That's right. We're looking for the ugliest guy and the hottest girl. So fellas, come on. If you know you've outkicked your coverage, here's your chance. Post a pic of you and your superior-looking partner on Twitter or Instagram with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Follow us and tag at Woodward Sports. Hurry because we'll be selecting a winner September 16th. We can't wait to see you. Well, her. From the network that always outkicks the competition. Woodward Sports.
Ribbit, D-Mac here for Big Frog and a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month of September at Big Frog and Novi. Stop by. Tell them we sent you, let them know, and they'll print you one up. Boom, right on the spot. Go to Big Frog Novi today, get your free t-shirt, or visit them online, bigfrog.com/Novi.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, D-Mac, Sam Flat here in the house. We got Mr. Gentry in the building as well, spinning the ones and twos.
Michael.
Real quick, that Outkick Your Coverage promotion could be the greatest promotion that's ever been done in the history of media arts.
And for the record, you posted yesterday. We posted that employees cannot win.
Lucky
or else
for you.
There'll be a two-way tie for first. These two guys right here. Gentry, what's up? Thanks for combing your hair with a pillow this morning, kid.
Oh my God!
Glad you could make it in.
I didn't know I was catching strays.
That's
I
it.
was catching strays, joining the booth.
If you're here.
If you're here, you're here. God, dude, hockey season, man. What if I need you for that shift and stuff like this? And, Neal, I'm going to hijack it a little bit here because yesterday, perfect time to come in. As we all know, Michael Gentry here, part of Jeff and Gentry podcast, but he's our Detroit Red Wings guy. He will be, if you don't hear it from me and you hear it from Mike, hear it right now, that's like hearing it from me. I know that was like Yogi Bear-ish and stuff like that.
That was
cool. But yesterday I got to meet the coach, Derek Lalonde. What I liked is the fact that when he approached me, and it was cool that he said he was a fan of me growing up and stuff like this. But the biggest takeaway I got is that he came in and said, "Listen, I didn't play the game, but I know how important it is to have guys like yourself around the locker room and stuff like this." And I said, "I ain't gonna help you with the X's and O's." He says, "I don't need you to help me with the X's and O's," and just as a former player, as what this organization means to me and stuff like this, that just was like the biggest sort of welcome that I could get, is just being a part of it. And that's where I want to be a part of it. I don't care about the wins and losses. Another conversation I had with Jacob Verani yesterday, who came to after the round playing in his golf group, and he played Detroit Golf Club for the first time, and said, "How'd it go?" And he said, "Oh, I played with great golfers, great group, gave me some great tips and stuff." And I said, "You don't get it how it works around here, do you, bud? Everybody else will take care of everything. You just take care of the goals." And he said, "We're going to do that." And he said it in sort of that way, like, how did you explain it to me? It's sort of like guys that know right? Guys that know that that's what they're going to do and not arrogance or anything like that. It's just like he's ready. So
what's understood doesn't have to be explained.
Thank you. What's understood doesn't have to be explained. So it was really exciting on that aspect. I look forward to as training camp and prospects camp. I know guys are reporting in today. Talking to Yuri Fisher too. Is that they'll come in today and tomorrow and then get tested and then head up for prospects camp. But I think the first game is Friday. Is that Mike? Is that right, Michael?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So it's underway.
It's here.
It's underway. So if you want, not only is he going to be filling in on the TD and stuff like this, but if you want to get your Red Wings news right from the source, and we talk every day, so the kid knows what he's talking about, and I look forward to seeing what he's got to report down there. But the continuity's coming, and the culture's coming, and stuff like this, and I felt really good after having a face-to-face and talk with Derek Lalonde, and I think he's the right guy for the job.
So there you have that. And just wrapping up this discussion too, we were touching on the Russell Wilson thing. I mean, he got absolutely destroyed by the crowd in Seattle last night, and I was stunned, shocked after what we saw here with Stafford last year, who asked to be traded too. So I was stunned by the two different reactions to it. The away fan says, I like players that used to play for us. Nothing wrong with that. I still love Anthony Mantha. Did you guys turn on D-Mac when he went to Calgary? Here's the difference, away fan, from my perspective. And it is like the Dennis Rodman thing. I see people talk about, I still cheered for Dennis Rodman and felt dirty cheering for the Bulls. The difference is that was an organizational decision. With D-Mac, it's my understanding where they said, hey,
you're making too much money.
Here's the buyout.
Cap. Here's the buyout.
Thank you for your services.
You for your service.
Yep. And fly, butterfly, fly.
Fly, butterfly, fly.
And that's what it was. That was organizationally. And then the man still comes back. And
well, you hadn't won a cup. I told Kenny Holland since 55, so without me in the lineup. So
if you want to finish it off.
I mean, Nick Lidstrom needed, he wanted his fourth cup. So, I mean, who was I to deny him of that?
Right. So that's the difference with me in all this. Is Dennis Rodman, same story. They tore the bad boys down. That you saw the demolition. They took the wrecking ball to it. So it's the exact same scenario where, yes, guys like Max Scherzer and Dennis Rodman, Darren McCarty's, all that kind of stuff, they didn't say, hey, get me out of here. And while they may not verbalize it, your action suggests that. You say, hey, get me out of here. I know that'd be a little rough to hear, but that's what it was. So that's the difference.
Yeah, no, and it is. I guess it goes back to your emotional connection to different guys. But to me, is that when you're not with us, you're against us. And that's what it showed me, that's how Seattle fans felt about Russell Wilson.
Yeah. So and it was. I was taken aback by it. I was actually stunned. But Lions, we touched on this yesterday, and I do want to discuss some things now that I've had a chance to sleep on it. I kind of got the temperature in the room, and I was surprised by one angle that I got from fans on social media. We put the clips out on social media. You should follow Woodward Sports on all the social media platforms. Just little snippets of the show so you guys can consume it and react and all that. And it was Sam Flannel's take, but I got blamed for it, which, happens a lot. I got broad shoulders. I can do that because Sam Flannel, noted Aiden Hutchinson slappy, noted Aiden Hutchinson apologist. I'm going to tie some things together here, D-Mac, and I'm curious to get your take on them because, you didn't get your chance to put it out there in the stratosphere yesterday. Losing that football game yesterday, and this is the nature of the NFL, makes next Sunday another home game, your second home game, in a league where after this Sunday, the Lions will only have 6 home games left until January. You cannot lose this game Sunday. You can't. Math says it. Common sense says it. Years of statistical data says it. You cannot lose this game Sunday, be staring a trip to Minnesota in the face at 0-2 and expect to do a heck of a lot. Is that fair?
I mean, do I have a gong, a bell, a horn? What do I need? It's that, yeah, there you go. It's understatement. Not only for so many things, just to get that win earlier in the season. This is a game they have to win, especially because the Commanders aren't a good football team also. So you have to.
You said the key word also.
Right? Also.
Because the Commanders are saying the same thing. They're
No,
we're playing Detroit. We'll be 2-0 if we win this game.
But this is exactly what you're up against. Here's my saving grace, Neal, and I realize it because I got 2 days to sleep on it too instead of coming in here going this, that, or indifference. Right? Right here, Westy. Right here. Oh, Michael. Yeah. Do you have the clock? Do you know how to put up the clock? I forgot. I saw Westy was still in there. Because I have the clock. Right?
Right.
Because I have the clock, which it's turned to 18.
We've gotten over the hump.
We've gotten over the hump. No, because the clock's rolling. So for me to be consistent and give my judgment, I got to wait until the end of the season. But yeah, not good. This, if you want to put it, is this a must-win of all the must-wins in Dan Campbell's regime? I would say this is it. This is the biggest game his coaching career, and thank goodness it's up against Washington, where I believe that they are going to win. Right? They got to shore up so many the failability or whatever words, the failure of this team, right? Yeah, sure, they need to be more talented in certain areas, like and run linebackers and stuff like that, right? But if you don't coach well and you don't put yourself behind the 8 ball by making some, different decisions and giving these guys the opportunity, yeah, Dan Campbell preaches putting these guys in the best possible chance to win, but that's great for the game plan. But on Sundays when you're making decisions and making calls, you're doing the absolute opposite. So this is, Neal, am I wrong to say this is the biggest game in Dan Campbell's coaching career?
Absolutely not. It happens fast in the NFL,
and you know
everybody.
What? I knew this. This was going to be it, so I will be there.
So, D-Mac's he's taking matters into his own hands. His own hands on Sunday. We're going to talk more Detroit
Speaking about
Lions.
putting things in your own hands.
Right, but yeah, you can put these in your hands too. The big boy. That's right. The new burgers and the loaded fries. It's not a Slim Jim. It's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? It's the bacon blue. While you're at it, upgrade those. You just eating mid-French fries, like just French fries by themselves. What are you doing out there? Put some chili cheese on them. For Christ's sake. Be regular. Be normal. Baked potato fries. Let's turn this up a couple notches. Nacho fries. What are we doing out here eating just regular old fries? Go to Big Boy. Burgers and loaded fries. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you can join the Pepper Club, get all the best deals, take a look at all the unlimited tanning options, and they'll beat competitors' prices by at least $5. Chili Peppers Tanning, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, all of it there is there for you at Chili Peppers Tanning. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one of the 26 locations work best for you. I can't click the mouse for you, everybody. Chili Peppers Tanning. Chili Peppers Tanning. Back at it, Big D Energy. Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, T. Foss. Off on Tuesdays. He'll be back with us tomorrow. Sam Flannel. We got Big Mike Gentry, BMG here in the house as well. Dale says, really, Neal, for God's sakes, people here were calling them the Detroit Rams. That was and still is mind-blowing to me. Looted Corpse says, hashtag broad shoulders game. We can take it. Yeah. gang deep on the broad shoulders. No, but I did want to get into this too, because it's, for me, this is how big it is, guys. Look at the data. Look at when you start 0-2 in the NFL, what happens to your season. It's not pretty, especially when you mix in the fact that you've burned 2 home games and you're going on the road at Minnesota, who, by the way, just destroyed Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
How good did they look? Minnesota, or just
we see that, to be fair,
I don't mean how good. So Justin Jefferson.
Oh, dude, you guys are freaks.
Dude, what I'm saying is how good did they look for the ones of us that thought Minnesota would be the cream of the crop of the division, right? I think that the coaching changes that they made, the way that they use Kirk Cousins, the receivers they have, not only Thielen and Jefferson, Dalvin Cook running the ball. What it reiterated to me is the dysfunction, right, is that I expected with Aaron Rodgers without Devontae Adams in Green Bay. But it seemed like that wasn't, I don't know, Kirk Cousins did less, but they made him do less. But Justin Jefferson, dude, is he the man? Like, did you see him high point some of the those catches and stuff?
Oh, dude, he was sick.
But the symmetry, right? The symmetry of them working together, and we saw, that's what we hope Goff develops with his receivers, and we saw flashes of it in different plays on Sunday. But no, Minnesota, because to me they're only going to get better because they showed you sort of what their basis is.
Right. John Mark says if the Lions defense gives up 35+ to Wentz, we could be looking at a historically bad defense like the Tiger Bats. Well, John, I came across a little stat for you.
Stats.
In the first 2 weeks of the NFL seasons under Dan Campbell, the Lions give up 33 points per game.
Oh, hell no.
That's the average. And
yeah, Smokey, it's unfortunate.
Yes, it is, Smokey. I need to borrow your VCR right quick. Anyway, it's just, for me, and the away fan says this very well too, we always come back to show us. And this seems to be a pivotal game where not just DC, but everyone on the Lions needs to show us.
Show us.
Otherwise, everything else looks bleak. And we're in the room, right? We're all consensus. That's a fair statement that this is a huge game. I'll even double down on what D-Mac said. And I didn't think about it this way. This is the biggest game of Dan Campbell's coaching life right now. It is. And that's not overstating it. That's not being bombastic. All of a sudden, man, you're 3-14-1, and you're about to burn your second home game of the season. And if you're 0-2 going to Minnesota, it ain't looking so good. And I say ain't for a fact.
But you know what? For all of us who didn't think that they were going to win against Philadelphia, there are bright spots. There are things that they can clean up on, things they can improve on in all aspects, including coaching decisions and stuff. So do they have a better than a puncher's chance? It's not like they're coming out losing 38-14. And I know it was, when you get behind 17 points a couple times, the game changes. It's more of a clock game by the team that's leading, but it still says there are pieces there. I'll get, I'm on Sam Flannel for being the legend killer every chance, but I got to give him props because DeAndre Swift is everything he said and told me that he was going to be, and he hasn't wavered from it. So my thing is just keep this guy healthy and game plan for him. The biggest mistake, if you look back to that game, and this is the growing pains, is that, yes, look at the way they started and came out. But the inefficiencies of their next 3 possessions on offense, right, is 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. You can't have that. You can do it once, but you have to make it easier. And I think they got away from the run, and I think that this is something that they're all learning. But in saying that, here's your SATs, here's your finals. We're going to see it on Sunday. Like I said, it's that big of a game. But I'm confident because what they can improve on, right? And even on the defense and the points and stuff like that. Did anybody talk yesterday about Tracy Walker, one of their captains, getting kicked out? And the sort of the undisciplined, and
I was actually going to bring that up today, as a matter of fact.
Okay, well, we'll talk. I just wanted good. So great minds stick it right now.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Well, I just thought that that was the crack when you look back and where did it fall apart? Because he was all over the place. He was a big impactful part in the fact he was
until he was kicked out of the game.
And then so what it tells you is you do not have the luxury of that happening. And you know what? That was, to me, if you look back, one of the most crucial parts. We can look at the fact you can't stop Jalen Hurts in a run and different things like that, but the fact that the undisciplined, and that's a crack in your culture. So you know what? That's got to be addressed. So they don't have the luxury of doing that, right? That's the whole thing.
Right.
They don't have the luxury because they don't have the guy. They don't have the players. I mean, he's a great player. He's the leader, he's captain.
They're strapped this year on two fronts. They're strapped this year on two fronts. Number one, in talent, and number two, financially. Because I heard this morning talk around the town, and they're like, well, what can the Lions? Are there people out there they can sign? They're butted up against the cap, man. There's nothing they can do because they're paying $18 million to Jamie Collins and Trey Flowers.
That's why the clock is so important.
Right.
That's why it's so important for the whole thing. But if they lose this one and then they go on the road,
but see, D-Mac, I know that we've done that, and I feel like we've done a good job. And even when I stand up here and I get pissed about stuff that happens, and I get disappointed with the performance of some players and stuff like that, at heart that I'm gearing towards 2023, 2024, right, when the playing field is more level for the Lions in this regime. But that's not the majority.
No.
The majority of the fans, you saw it in free agency where everybody, all they did was, but this goes back to what I was saying before this season, it's a lot like the Tigers thing. All they did really was re-sign guys they already had, right? With DJ Chark and the guys they drafted, more or less. As far as quote-unquote impact guys. But if you explain the
why, it's because they were hamstrung by the cap.
Right, and that's why, or they didn't want to be hamstrung by the cap in the future.
Right.
And I could see that. I could see Brad Holmes working with that. And you know what? I'm all right because that's a plan. You're not just showing up.
So in saying this, you can also see that they're preparing for the future. The whole thing is that you got to keep the dogs off for these last 17 games.
But that's what a 6-year contract does.
Right. It as long as the stability of ownership to stick to the game plan.
Right. But my problem.
But we need, because it's gonna be man overboard if they lose and they start 0-2, because where do you see a victory?
But that's not what the people said when we brought that up yet. Remember Sam Flannel?
Listen,
we put it on the poll.
15-2 also, Neal.
We put it on the poll. 83% of people said they're fine with it.
Yeah, that they weren't tapping out. But the thing is, if they are 0-2, a lot of people actually think this team is going to be good. If you start 0-2 as the Lions, that's done. That's over. You're looking at maybe being a 4 or 5 win team, and all of that leash that Dan Campbell has gotten, which is remarkably long for being 3-14-1 as a coach, I think that will start to waver. I think people will start to say, is he just a motivational speaker? Is he a WWE character? Or is he a head coach? And that is what is staring the Lions in the face. If they start this season 0-2 at home, one of those losses to the Commanders, who I don't think are better than the Lions. I think they both think they should beat each other, but you got to win one of those games, or else it's done. Call off the season right now. Start the tank, honestly.
But put the tanks in the streets, man.
And I don't think the people are ready for that, because it's been that way for so long, and this city is just so starved for a winner. And I think a lot of people thought this is the year that the Lions at least improve, maybe win 7, 8, and 9. And you got people like Ryan Ermanni saying 11 wins in the playoffs. That but
you got to consider the source there on that one.
No, that's true, but it'll be like a pin just piercing the air right out of the city. I don't want to see that. They have to win this game. It is the biggest win of Dan Campbell's career as a coach by far, or the biggest game.
That's amazing. And old D-Mac comes through with them every now and then, man. I never thought about that for a second. I'm being honest with you. And now a light bulb's gone off, because that is true. That's a true statement. Gents, can we take it to the YouTube poll? Is this the biggest game of Dan Campbell's coaching career? It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious to see what the people say. Now, on the flip side of that coin, D-Mac, if the people say and they're on board with that line of thinking, and they lose, then I would say there's got to be consequences or a pound of flesh, but only figuratively speaking, because you're not going to fire the guy. And don't get me wrong, I don't want him fired or anything like that. But you do need to start paying attention, because my biggest fear, and my only fear, for the first time in forever, I'm on board with the GM. I've seen enough already. He showed me.
Yes.
Brad Holmes has showed me.
Yes.
With the Amon-Ra St. Browns and the Malcolm Rodriguez, who, by the way, I believe was their highest PFF graded defender, right?
Yes, he was. I'm sure Spencer's bridges were altered when he read that.
No doubt.
Good for them. They were the leaders and the starters of the Malcolm Rodriguez hype train, the heavyweights, and they're looking pretty vindicated right now. He was actually one of the bright spots, which is amazing for a 6th-round pick. Rookie.
But when you get 38 hung on you,
it's
going to be a stretch to find bright spots, dude. It just is.
Give up 216 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns. I mean, the easy answer is there really were no bright spots on the defense, because if you give up all those rushing yards and points, you had a bad game team defensively, even if some individuals were okay.
Sure. And that's what it is for me. Dave Schultz says, Juicy nailed it this morning. Yes, it was an L, but all around there was improvement. Things aren't solved, but there was improvement. But Dave, Dave, this is the NFL's different than all these other sports, man. If you lose this week, you're cooked. With 2 home games used up, and you're staring 0-3 in the face, and it does happen that quick. And there's other people saying, I want to see 4 games. There's no time to wait for 4 games if you want to have a successful season.
Well, it's not about. So here's the whole thing: is you got to realize it's not about. If you're going by the clock, it's not about the season. This is just window dressing as a preview to whatever. Now, if you want to pay attention to this season, or whether you're going to hear like you said, what'd you say? Drop the tanks,
roll the tanks through the streets,
which is true. Right, and then you root against the Rams, and you try to finish at the bottom. Then you don't really care. We're too good to. There's too much talent. I think that there's been some improvement, but where we haven't improved is keeping teams off the score. You let Philly in their last 2 games against you run for over 200 yards and 8 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns, like the ridiculous. That's not improvement at any sort.
No, it's not. Looted Corpse on the YouTube chat thread. Big Boy should rebrand it as the Thick Gyms. That's pretty good, actually. Corey Perez says mid fries, LOL. But it is like that. That's how important. Cole this season says you guys are overreacting 100%. No, I'm not. I'm giving you the math, man. I'm giving you the math. If they lose, they're done. Math says they're done.
Yeah, on the short game. So it's pretty much what Neal's saying is your overs are done. That's what you're saying. You lose this week, and good luck in hitting your overs.
You have 6 home games left after Sunday for the year. That's it. I want to continue this discussion, man.
I think the biggest thing, Sam Flannel nailed it, is Dan Campbell. I think that he's proven he's not just like the wrestling character. But is he more of a motivational speaker than a head coach? I think right now we can all say he's a motivational speaker. He's shown us a little bit of head coaching ability, but we need to see more.
And Sam Flannel could be a motivational speaker, and he could teach you about how to outkick your coverage because he's done it.
Yes, I certainly have, as have you two. The Woodward Sports Network is giving you a chance to sit front row for the Detroit versus Washington football game. That's right. We are looking for the ugliest guy and the hottest girl. So, fellas, if you know you've outkicked your coverage, here's your chance. As the guys said, I probably did myself, but I am at least a soft 7, although today I'm feeling like a 5. Post a pic of you and your superior-looking partner on Twitter or Instagram with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Follow us and tag at Woodward Sports. Hurry, because we'll be selecting a winner September 16th, so enter into the Outkick Your Coverage contest today.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
There it is. What's up, guys? Academy of Warren. Are you interested in expanding your career, making a difference in your community? The Academy of Warren is for professionals that have a passion for working with students in the kindergarten to 8th grade department and more. For more information on how to apply, Call the Academy of Warren, 586-552-8010, or visit academyofwarren.net.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty here in the house, Sam Flannel. BMG, Big Mike Gentry on the ones and twos as well with that. What'd you say he brushed his hair with this morning?
Pillow.
A pillow, with his pillow brushed hair.
I don't even get it.
He's got that.
You rolled in out of bed.
Yeah. You look like you
That's the old term of you just rolled out of bed and came into work.
Yeah, he's got that action figure hair going right now.
Man.
You know?
I don't think it's that bad. I just had my hood up when I was coming in. It was like 50 degrees this morning.
It was cold. Walking the streets of Beeham, we know.
Yeah, it's like a G.I. Joe figure that you could pull the hair off of, or one of those your kids' Legos where you can pull the hair off and put a different hairstyle on there.
Love those.
I love stepping on them. That's my favorite.
Ooh.
I really enjoy it. That or
candy corn.
Ooh.
Probably the same thing.
Yeah.
Candy corn would just inject you with a sugar dose. You'd be down too.
I think I would shake off stepping on a Lego quicker than I would shake off eating candy corn.
I'm a fan of candy corn.
Get the hell out of this studio.
I'm
sorry.
never
come back.
I'm sorry. The chocolate ones too. I had those for the first time.
Didn't they have?
Those were good.
Didn't we have this conversation?
Shut his mic off.
Hot dog flavored
Shut his
ones?
mic off. Yeah. Oh, look at that. You can't talk anymore, can you, Big Mike Gentry? How about you keep your stupid opinions to yourself, all right? Just run the board. Run the commercials. Nobody cares what kind of candy you like to eat when that candy is candy corn. Nobody cares.
Just make a tackle, Gentry.
Yeah. just do your job. Do your job. But happy to have you all with us here today. Chuck Brewer says this game is one game of 34. People Pleaser says any division game is bigger at all times. I disagree with that. Not when it's one of your home games, man. Not when it's one of your home games, and if you lose, you go on with. So maybe I'm wrong. Do I have a wrong take on this?
No, I mean I think it's as far as when you're supposed to win your home games, and the fact that what is this team going to be on the road? The places that it has to go, especially early in the season. It goes back to your what'd you say second quarter? Second quarter of the season was the one you were looking at before the season started. You said this is going to be a tough road for them. If you don't have a win, we say that everybody marked this down as a win against the Commanders this weekend. So they need to use that to fruition. Yeah. And that still only gets them to like 6, 7, 8 wins. So we have to see improvement. We have to see improvement in all departments. In coaching and tackling. Now, is there? Carson Wentz, here's the good thing. He's not Jalen Hurts. He ain't that running threat. He's got his own issues. They got their own issues, right. But that means, to me, they're the perfect, looking around the league, they're one of maybe 3 or 4 teams that you want to have, or if Dan Campbell had to have his biggest game, this is where he can show out.
Because Washington's strength, I think, is their defensive front.
Yes,
right. That's 1,000,000% accurate, right? So I'm a little more comfortable in the fact that the Lions have their biggest strength going up against Washington's biggest strength,
right? So we have to show a little bit here and there of our strength, hopefully being healthier. Is Kramer going to play? Is Ragnow going to get healthier this week? Stuff like this, and negate and be everything that everybody tells us we are. That's our strength. You hear it all national TV. Oh, the offensive line. Look at all these guys and stuff like this. We'll go out and dominate and do that. So this could be a statement game, too, for the Lions to show, did they clean up where they made mistakes? Did they clean up some of the coaching mistakes? Did they clean up some of the tackling, some of the zone, some of the runnings? Different things like that, the places that they got ran 216 yards again. What are you doing if you're Washington right now? You're going through tape going, look at Hutchinson over pursues here, let's run this, over this, that. So it's the chess game, the cat and mouse game, and this is where, to me, the coaching, right, having the ex-players, this is where now we're underway. Yeah, training camp, technique, all this stuff, but now you're in the fire, and you've had guys that have been on the field doing that, so how are they going to adjust going into the biggest game? All these guys have played a biggest game of their life. So if we're saying that Dan Campbell knows it, they're talking about it.
Just Bills on the YouTube chat thread. Lions will not win this game because it will come down to coaching, and Ron Rivera is way better, 100%. And see, that's my concern through all this. Going back to it, I'm 1,000,000% in on Brad Holmes, just on 2 drafts. Love the returns, love the talent that he's picked out of there. The Amon-Ra St. Brown thing too, at such a expensive position where he's gotten over on everybody. My question is, it's about Dan Campbell, and I think that's fair. I think that's fair because what are we talking about? Every Monday, every Tuesday, when the Lions lose a game, what do we seem that we're always talking about, Sam Flannel?
I mean, we're talking about how he mismanaged the clock at the end of the first half and had that onside kick call after they had just cut the lead to 10, which is very, very questionable because onside kicks, how often do they work? I think less than 20% of the time or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 or 6, actually.
Oh, it's even less than that.
To be fair, though, the Lions were very good at it last year. I think they were 3 for 9.
So does anybody else think that? But that's not a caveat, because you've hit that flop shot one time in your life.
There
right?
it is. Yeah,
you've hit that golf shot one time in your life, so you think you can go to the bag for it. That to me, all these trickery plays, the 4th downs, it's more of you execute it and got away with it. It's not an asset in your tool belt, is it?
Right. No, I agree.
I mean, when you do that onside kick, you're basically asking to give the ball to the Philadelphia Eagles in great field position so they could extend the lead to 17, and that's exactly what happened. And I know all of us in here are kind of tired of the coaching errors. He's not a rookie coach anymore. He has to clean that up. And if he does, that could make the Lions successful, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I see it in him. I haven't seen enough, especially to get this leash that he has, this love from the city. He's a 3-14-1 coach. And if he loses this week, he's a 3-15-1 coach. And I think there will finally start to be questions about whether we have the right guy or not. I agree with you, Neal. GM, I'm 100% sold. Coach, not so much yet. He hasn't shown enough.
It's always the same thing, right? You know, what have you showed, to Sam said, what have you showed me lately? You know, and that's the whole thing. Have you shown improvement on it? And you can't keep going to the well. And here's the thing. You can't question them when it works, right? But how often doesn't work? It's the flop shot's what it is. You hit that one remarkable golf shot one time in your life and you think that, I can hit it every time.
Yeah, you think it's like a part of your arsenal.
You think you're
no, you're going to blade
Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, you're going to blade it into the woods. Like that's just the way that it's going to happen. And yeah, I mean, Thomas Wallace says, I think it's okay to start questioning Dan Campbell. Just Bill says, you're right, Neal. Go Blue says, his decisions. Dom Rivera, can't wait for our D-line to get healthy. Still have some big players coming back at some point, hopefully. And yes, that's the other concern, right? And I got caught up, I'll say this, running on the treadmill today. I got to thinking about this, and I had an internal battle with myself about that. With the Josh Paschal thing and Onwuzurike too. I started going back and forth with it. I was like, man, these guys, like we keep hearing about them, but we don't see them. And I'm like, man, those guys. I'm worried that those guys they could be injury busts and things like that. And then I had to catch myself, and I'm like, what do you say on this microphone every day about Brad Holmes? The hit rate in the draft. And I was being unfair when I got upset about that. Because it's not realistic to expect a man to pluck a starter with 70% of his draft picks, dude. It's just not. It's not Brad Holmes' fault that your roster's is shitty. Like it's not his fault. It's his job to fix it. And he's on the highway. He's driving up north, like we like to say.
It's his job
he's at the Zilwaukee Bridge now, going up north. And I like what I'm doing. We're making good time. The gas tank's full. Like I like what I'm seeing so far, and I do. And I got upset with myself for being unrealistic about it. You can't expect him. Well, Paschal, if he doesn't play, or Onwuzurike, or. Like, you can't do that. You can't expect the man to do that.
No, but you can expect him to show you that he's improving it, that he's getting better, that he's taking care. It's like buying a house, right, that you got to renovate, right? Are you taking care of it, or are you just going to let, the back half, the back room, are you going to let it dilapidate, or are you going to finish it off, right? You know what I'm saying? So he's showing improvement. That's what we want out of Dan Campbell. We don't want him making the same mistakes, and we want to see improvement with this team. Now they have to show it now. Brad, you nailed it earlier, right? We always had Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell together like this.
Not to me, they're separate.
But, okay.
To me.
okay, to me, they were more together. Now they're more separate, where I can understand the job. And have you seen improvement, and do you see a way out from Brad Holmes to the things that you're accepting?
100%.
He's
gotten out of the blocks well.
So that's where you give him the benefit of the doubt, correct? Well, Dan Campbell is slowly but surely choking out his benefit of the doubt. He's got to show wins, and he's got to show improvement, and that's in coaching decisions also.
Yeah, so, I mean, I had to check myself today. Sometimes I feel like I have to do that. But I was working out, as I said, and I was on the treadmill, and I was at Planet Fitness. We are live from Planet Fitness Studios, studio sponsor here at Woodward Sports, and home in the judgment-free zone, where you can work out for less than $10 or for $10 a month with access to your home club. You can upgrade to the Black Card, $24.99 a month, still less than $1 per day. You basically own Planet Fitness at that point. You come and go as you please. You do what you want, where you want, all that kind of stuff. Planet Fitness is where it's at. I've been working out there a couple years now, and I love it. And it's a part of my life. It's a daily part of my life. And I enjoy my experience there every single time at Planet Fitness, one on Maple Road here. The crew's got it popping. I love it. I couldn't be more happy. Join today in club. You're going to pass a couple on the way home. Just pull in and join there, or go on your computer. PlanetFitness.com. Because Darren McCarty at Planet Fitness,
your fitness is essential.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You have a bog project coming up, Alta Rent has you covered. Give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
On and popping, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty here in the house. Happy you guys are with us. And we're chopping it up. We got Sam Flannel. We got BMG, Big Mike Gentry, here in the house with his action figure hair this afternoon. He's holding it down. And yeah, he's taking some slander. Dude likes candy corn. It's lucky he's still employed, I think, at this point. It's a fireable offense. We'll talk to HR a little bit later. Rich Cervantes says, Brad Holmes is more suspect in my opinion. Half his picks haven't even seen the field. I like him, but let's be honest. Yeah, Rich, let's be honest. Shall we? Gold jacket, offensive lineman, Penei Sewell. Is that an opinion? That's an opinion. But I think, is it more likely, if of everybody you have, is he the most likely to be a gold jacket? Yes. That answer's yes. I think that's a fair question to ask. Amon-Ra St. Brown, whose entire rookie contract costs less than Kenny Golladay will make this September for the Giants. Smashing hit. Penei Sewell, smashing hit. Malcolm Rodriguez, starting linebacker, 6th round, your highest graded defender according to Pro Football Focus.
Which also tells you, when you're great to find the gem, but there's also two, that isn't that more glaring? Also, too, that you have a 6th rounder that's doing that?
Yep. So that's 3 right there, right? That's 3. All, if a guy's starting for you, he's a hit.
Aleem McNeil, I would argue that's been a hit too so far.
The kind of guy you win with.
Absolutely.
He's not getting a gold jacket or anything like that. Does a lot of the dirty work, but he's out there and he does a good job. Look at the numbers.
He's like anchoring that defensive interior line right now. Honestly, he's the best guy they've got.
So that's Aleem McNeil. So that's 4. He's only had 15 picks. So we're already above 25% hit rate. And, okay, Aiden Hutchinson. So which is it, guys? I was told it's a hit. Now, Pro Football Focus disagreed with me. The eye test disagreed with me. The box score disagreed with it. And I'm not saying it's over, and I'm not saying cut him, and I'm not saying trade him. But I go to Sam Flannel, our resident Michigan Slappy, the man who calls for Aiden Hutchinson to be the Defensive Rookie of the Year in the National Football League. The following statement, Sam, agree or disagree? He's behind in that race now.
He is definitely behind in that race, especially when you see what Trayvon Walker did, the number 1 pick, who everybody thought that was a dumb pick by Jacksonville, and they gifted us Aiden Hutchinson. He had a sack and an interception. I'm not saying that Aiden Hutchinson was terrible at all. I'm saying that he was undisciplined and unimpactful. When you go to rush a guy like Jalen Hurts, he can easily step aside you. You have to break down. You have to, be disciplined. You have to flush him out to where there's other defenders, and he didn't do that. It seemed like every single time he went to rush him, all Jalen Hurts did was sidestep. There was open field, 10 yards. He did that on a couple critical third downs. So it was not a good week 1 for Aiden Hutchinson. I think next week it is perfectly set up for him to redeem himself, for the Lions to redeem himself. But this is a game that, I'm not going to lie, there's some pressure on Aiden Hutchinson. He has to show up. He has to show out. The team has to show out. But if they're going to win, I think Aiden Hutchinson is going to have to at least pressure Carson Wentz, maybe make a couple plays, maybe get a tackle for loss, a sack, a couple QB hits, because he kind of owes that to the team right now because he did not play well. I mean, Pro Football Focus, what was he, the 120th out of 121 first ranked pass rushing defensive lineman? That's not good enough. That's not winning. That's not getting it done. And I'm saying this as the biggest Aiden Hutchinson fan in the room. Probably in the building. I got up and cheered when he was drafted, and I called for him to have 12 sacks and win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but he is definitely behind in that race right now, and it's fair to at least say that he did not play well. At the very least, he was unimpactful. And
that was my question. Is it fair to want more? Because I have to step lightly around here with this because you guys will come and blow me up and stuff like that on social media in the chat room. Is it fair? Sam Flannel says that it's fair. Okay.
Second pick in the draft. He's supposed to be a superstar. He didn't play like a superstar in week 1. I'm not going to overreact too much. I think he will be better, but his week 1 performance left a lot to be desired. It just did. And the fact that there's a lot of people that I see on Twitter, like analysts, say that he played well, I don't get it. He made 0 impact on the game, and the defense gave up 31 points, and then they got the pick 6. And then the Eagles rushed for 216 yards and 4 touchdowns, and they allowed A.J. Brown to have 155 yards receiving. That was just a poor defensive performance, and Aiden Hutchinson was a big part of it. He just was. Like, people need to stop putting their Aiden Hutchinson blinders on. If anybody were to have him, it would be me, and even I don't.
And to be fair, I'll be fair to the people here. And Coquet, it was one game, Jesus. Well, it's the only game, Coquet. Look around. Look around at what other teams, other players were doing. Look around. But Bruce Betterly says Hutch will have a very good year. Yes, he had a poor first game. Rich Cervena says, I think he'll bounce back. That's fair, too. But, D-Mac, it's one of those situations here. This number 2 pick, NFL, the team lost. People are looking to you. It's a big game for him. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, but he's a competitor, too. He knows that it wasn't.
And no one knows more than him. Fair.
And here's the thing. I can remember there was a couple times, 2 or 3 times, right, where he was there in the hole where Hurts showed that this is the NFL, and he ran around him. Either he over pursued or took the wrong angle and stuff like this. But it is a learning curve. It is one game. You have to give him that. But if this is anybody else's second overall pick with the stats that PFF had, everybody'd be down on him. Here's the thing. Aiden Hutchinson's a competitor. He knows this himself. He's going to come back. I think what it showed, Neal, you nailed. What did you say last week? Oh, welcome to the league. Now you have to go against 2. Lane Johnson. Right? These are and Jason Kelsey in the center and stuff like this. And I think that Philadelphia showed why they got their own hosses and have Pro Bowlers on their offensive line. And they showed it wasn't to me that he was he didn't look like he belonged. It looked like he was overmatched to the schemes and stuff like this. Caught doing the things that he did in college, over pursuing. It's we call it in hockey, it's too horny, right? Don't be too horny. So I think they'll pick some of this stuff up and show him on tape. And the best thing is he's the one that knows this. And he's going to come out and play this, and I expect him to have a great game.
Tyler Kane says this show's getting ridiculous with the overreactions. Tyler, this is the math, man. Like, this is the math to it. And again, I'll step back. We have the clock. No one has preached this more than D-Mac and I. Nobody has. You didn't see me out here calling for them to win divisions and Goff to have 5,500 passing yards. You guys did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, those were the expectations that some people had. And if you want to live up to those expectations, you got to win games at some point. You just do. And it's adding up. It is. I'm not saying it's over. I'm not saying cut Hutchinson. I'm not saying fire Dan Campbell. But this is how big it is. This is for real. They're keeping score. Like, I don't understand. Like, and the Hutchinson thing's always the trigger. I don't. Why? Stan Flynn, why does everybody just run like you're coming after their children when you talk about it? I think Aiden Hutchinson would be the first one to tell you, I got to do more.
I mean,
is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's because people want him to be good so bad. And I also think there's another angle.
But because it's two fulfilling prophecies then, right?
Yes.
Your Michigan Slappy fandom gets rewarded, and then our Lions fandom gets rewarded.
Well, but I also think there's another side of the coin, and I'm going to take the show in an interesting direction to where I think there's some Michigan State fans who are kind of like, you see, he's not that good. I never wanted him in the first place. And the Michigan fans get extra sensitive. Like, they're coming at my guy, but the reality is it's just what we saw. He didn't play well. Can he improve? Absolutely. I still think he's going to be good. I still think he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but he's not off to a good start. So it's on him to make adjustments and play better next week. And like I said, with Carson Wentz being in the pocket, he doesn't have the mobility that Jalen Hurts has. He might be able to rush him and actually get to him.
They're going to scheme the blocks differently, though.
That's absolutely true. They got tape on Aiden Hutchinson. They see where he can be exposed, so Aiden Hutchinson has to adjust too.
Is there anything to live rounds in the first NFL game? Like, not just first game of the season, but first real NFL game with the crowd. Yeah, and it's not the crowd because he played at Michigan and stuff like this, but with the men on the field. So now this week he knows exactly what he's in for. Is there anything to the fact that maybe he, it wasn't to expect? Have you ever tried anything like once, right? And then go, oh, okay, now I get it. I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, parenting, marriage, golf.
And then you try to get better and you try to improve right?
Losing weight.
So let's just see if it's more consistent.
Yeah, and that's what it is, guys. We're discussing the ramifications because this is big boy stuff, and it's the NFL, and you only get 17 of these things, and the coach is up against it a little bit. That's I don't think that this is some blasphemous statement, man, and I don't think it's. I think if you asked Aiden Hutchinson, were you happy with your Week 1 performance? What do you think he'd say, D-Mac?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm going to be better next week. I'm going to improve on the stuff.
Right.
Because he's got the motor and he's got the desire and stuff like that. He wants to be good, so he's going to figure it out. He's in there asking questions, I'm sure.
If you ask Dan Campbell, what'd you think about your performance there in Week 1?
Not good enough. Not good enough. I got to be a lot better. I let the team down. I take responsibility for it.
There's no blasphemy in that. That's factual.
It's accountability so you can move forward. Self-awareness.
I will give Dan Campbell credit in this, right? And I've talked about it. Like, that's probably my biggest question about this whole setup right now. I will give him credit for this, though. When he talks to the media, he's like, here's what I was thinking. And he says it. As opposed to what we saw last night with Denver's coach, where, I don't know what he was thinking. Especially when you have that opportunity where you're like, we brought this guy in and gave up the world for him. I put the ball in his hands and said, go win the game. And he didn't do that. He opted to kick a 64-yard field goal instead.
Yeah, like only one of the longest field goals in NFL history. That's what you want to count on instead of Russell Wilson. That's just not a smart decision.
Again, so everybody can rest assured there's bad coaching decisions being made across this league. Not just here. But we got to worry about us, Dan Campbell, improving on it. and don't make the same one twice.
Alex Haggerty, real quick. Y'all need to define over. We were always going to win a 7-ish win team. If over is the playoffs, then it was over before the season started. And if over is no improvement, then it's far from over. And that's a fair take, Alex. But I'm talking about what I was told by people here when we took the chat threads and the polls and all that kind of stuff, where people expected a lot of success. This is the real life impact of it, though. I think that gets lost sometimes in all this. This is the real life impact of it. If you're 0-2 and you're going on a road trip to your division foe and you've used up 2 of your home games, you're cooked. That's what it takes in this league to win. I don't want to lose sight of that.
I mean, just really quickly, I know we're up against it. There are 0 people, there's not a person who exists who predicted the Lions to win at least 7 games or more that had them starting the season 0-2. That person does not exist. That's why it's so big.
Too.
Yes.
That's fair, too.
All right, and speaking of the Detroit Lions, every single Sunday, Lions game day is here. Woodward Sports for the biggest game day draft party in Detroit at the Brass Rail. We go live with our pregame show with Ermanni, Edwards, with Maz from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Then enjoy a tailgate-style brunch while you watch the game. Stay after for our postgame reaction show with Stick and Anson. Look out for the heavyweights Woodward Street Team all over the city crashing tailgates. DJs, drink specials, giveaways, and the biggest Lions party in the D. So if you all want to party with the Woodward Sports crew during the Lions game, come see us at the Brass Rail this Sunday.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
The official drink of summer is still holding on. That's right. It's a mulligan made with Gypsy Vodka. We're going to get back into those summertime temperatures this weekend. And what better way to enjoy it than with a nice cold Gypsy Vodka mulligan in your hand. If you're on the golf course, you're in the backyard, just got done mowing the lawn, whatever, the mulligan is the play. Ask for it at your local golf course, at a Total Wine store near you. It's a mulligan made with Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty here in the house. We got Sam Flannel as well. And we got BMG, Big Mike Gentry, the candy corn lover in the house. Yes, he likes candy corn.
Candy corn kid.
He said he likes the other colored nastiness, too. What a joke, bro.
Nasty. He's nasty. He's got good hockey takes, but he's nasty. Kid.
Hey, do you take showers and brush your teeth and stuff, too, or not?
Oh, yeah. Every day.
Do you?
But candy corn, the chocolate ones are different than the normal ones. The normal candy corn I do not like. It has a weird plastic, nothing like taste to it, but the chocolate ones are good. I'm telling you. You have to try them. Didn't you get a big bag?
No, I don't have to try them.
Didn't you get a big bag? We need to bust those out.
They never made it back from Florida. Oh. They never made it out of the state.
It's a shame. It's a shame. I would have taken those off their hand.
Hey, you know what? We'll do a behind-the-scenes docu-series on this chocolate candy corn if you get it.
Okay. All right. I'll bring it in. I'll bring it in.
Okay. But yeah, just kind of wrapped up the Lions discussion. And Zachary says, there are no moral victories, but just call it as you see it. This is where we struggle. This is where we did well. Correct the struggles. Maintain the success. Yeah, and Zach, that's my overriding thing with it. The draft picks are playing well. A large percentage a higher percentage than the norm of the draft picks in the Brad Holmes regime are playing well. That's what I care about because that's what's going to fix this team. So, it's one of those things where, Brad Holmes got to go to work and he'll continue to go to work and he'll do the things. And I love where the team is at. See, I don't know, people are like, you're losing your mind. You guys are melting down about 1 3-point loss. No, because it doesn't change the clock, and it doesn't change the fact that they got $88 million-ish in cap space in 2024, and they got another additional first-round pick this year. None of that changes. I wonder why we've gotten kind of soft about it, though. I wonder why we have. I know we've been beat down for a long time. I understand that.
I think we want it to work so bad. It's just like everybody. It's almost like that abusive relationship or whatever like that. It's okay. It's okay.
It's different.
We don't want it hard. We don't want it hard. It's been so hard. It's just this. We know where we're at. In the back of our minds, we know this isn't a playoff team. We knew this. It was explained more as the narrative of Hard Knocks, and we saw it into whatever else. We have work to do. So it's almost like, hey, can we just find a way to enjoy it to the people that are sort of accepting of it, like you're saying, Neal? It's just sort of, now's not the time. It's almost like they've already been resigned maybe to the clock running out. Like I said, that's where I'm at. All this isn't really like too serious until the end of the season.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any expectations this year other than individuals and wanting to see the coaching decisions getting better, and thought this team could win 7 or 8 games. They don't win. You nailed it. They don't win this one. Are they going to win 4 or 5? Who knows?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I don't want people to lose sight of that, man. Like, this is big. These are important. These matter. And yes, I can be excited about the future, but at the same time, I'm not. I worry about the future or accept what the setup is for the future. I embrace that. I like that, which is why we have the clock. This was a bit of a free roll. I'm going by what I was told. And we did the polls, and we did all that stuff. And I know we have a hopium problem. I understand that. Go back to opening day for the Tigers. I know that we're strung out on the hopium. I understand that. But it's just people need their expectations to fall in line with the reality, I think. That's fair. And they're fair questions we're asking.
Oh,
damn it, they're fair.
They're 100% fair. And I think one of the reasons that actually Lions fans have gotten a little bit soft and get mad at people like us who are expecting them to win this weekend, or it's must win, is because I've talked to many people. I've seen it on Twitter. We've all heard them. They want this to work out with Dan Campbell so badly because he's the guy. He's the biting kneecap guy. He's the guy that represents kind of Detroit hard work and grit. He was the guy that everybody's fallen in love with his personality on Hard Knocks. But the reality is, in his first 18 games as a head coach in Detroit, he's 3-14-1, and he's shown a lot of youth and a lot of inexperience and made a lot of bad decisions. And I don't think the average Lion fan right now will be able to handle it if Dan Campbell actually isn't what they think he is, and he doesn't work out. So I think that's where a lot of this comes from. They're so excited about him because I never felt this way from the average Lion fan when it was Quinn and Patricia.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things. Chuck says, Neal, please stop listening to folks telling you, hey, man, Chuck, I'm going. But you guys know, man, I work you guys into the show. You guys are taking time out of your day. At least I can do is read the stuff that you think about it and stuff like that. Kevin and Muskegon, why are we making judgments in one game? It's nuts to me because it's 1 of 17. Like, and we're seeing repetitive, alarming things happen. And I think they're fair questions, Kevin and Muskegon.
And you know why it is nothing? Or it sounds like nothing? Because it is nothing. Because it doesn't matter. In the whole scheme of things, it's all garbage. It all doesn't matter. The whole point of how do you go to 4 and 5 games, Sam, you nailed it and said that. Everybody who had this team winning 7 games has them starting 1-1 at the worst. So if you can't win this game, you're destined to probably 4 or 5 wins. That's how that works out.
Chuck Brewer says, Neal, if they turn the pick 6 into a touchdown, we win. Do you feel better? The team is still the same. Bad. But there's always a pick 6 every week. Always. There's always a big play given up or a big turn. Always, all the time. That's my problem.
Well, it's a one-score league for the most part. It's how do you get there?
How do you get there?
Like, does anybody remember we were down 17 points a few times? So the Eagles play defense differently. It opens up the game. And again, you need better coaching decisions. You need better effort by your number 2 overall pick. And you need Goff to be better, especially early on.
Absolutely. I did have a question for Sam Flannel and the Michigan folks out there. J.J. McCarthy, in the Heisman betting realm, has jumped all the way up to 30-1 to win the Heisman. I think he's like the 8th pick or 6th pick or something like that, 6th most bet on pick. At 30-1, are you taking a spin, Sam Flannel?
I might lay like $5 or $10 on that one. I don't think he's actually going to win it because he didn't even really get to play in week 1. I mean, his stats just won't line up for it. But I will say this: he is, and this might be a hot take, the most likely Michigan quarterback to win the Heisman in the history of the program, just because he has the ability to throw the football and run. The only other one that I can think of that had that kind of hype was Denard Robinson, but he was always the perpetual September Heisman, and he just couldn't throw like JJ. So I'm pretty excited. If it were, I mean, I get it, I'm a JJ McCarthy slappy, but he is the guy that I think could break the drought in being the Michigan quarterback that could at least be in the conversation to make it to New York, that could at least be in the conversation to be a first-round draft pick, which they also haven't had since Jim Harbaugh. So I don't think those odds are crazy, and I wouldn't mind laying 5 or 10. What if it works out? I mean, he's got like 10 more games to really go out and prove himself, and I think he will.
D-Mac, if the odds were for the September Heisman, JJ McCarthy would be like minus 10,000, right? Because Michigan, nobody wins a September Heisman like a Michigan quarterback.
It is what it is. It's just the fact that obviously you look at it from a national perspective is that he's on the radar. They put him up there, moved up, whatever. And I like what Sam said. If you're a Michigan guy and whatever JJ fan, throw $10 on it.
AC has a question for you. Sam Flannel, as a resident Michigan man, can we please get an update on Michigan baseball? The floor is yours. Take it to the break.
The people really like want to hear about Michigan baseball. I don't really have a take at this point. I want to see them get to Omaha, and then at that point, you know what, maybe the Big Ten title. If they're in the Big Ten semifinals, then maybe I will start paying attention. But I'm sorry, I don't really pay attention to Michigan baseball, although I think we can all agree with this. If you actually sit down and watch a College World Series game, it is a lot more interesting than I thought it was. Those are some high-scoring, long games that just really, I mean, it's exciting baseball. So, but as far as Michigan regular season, I'm not going to tap in this year. Sorry, AC.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. So, AC, I feel like I've let you down. I feel like I've let down the people. I've let down my core audience. So I'm going to have to live in it. I'm going to have to, live in my shame. Sorry, AC. I will do better next time for you.
Brandon Katz, Michigan's favored by 46.5 points. Connecticut is bad, but they aren't complete garbage either. They were respectable against Utah State in week 1. And then they had a big win over Central Connecticut State, 28-3. They took an L at home against Syracuse, 48-14. So, we can save that narrative about them not being complete garbage. Yes, they are. Check out the records.
I don't get why Brandon Katz is like sticking up for UConn football of all things. That's what drives me crazy. Sometimes Brandon Katz, I really like some of your comments, dies on some really weird hills. They are complete trash. It is going to be 56-0, and I'm actually going to be at that game, so I'm pretty excited about that one. See JJ McCarthy just like sling it all over the field. This is where the actual September Heisman train just really, really gets going after this game, and the national Heisman train. He is going to show out.
D-Mac, here's one for you. This comes from Cornelius T. Haven't seen him before, but welcome to the show. He says, how in the hell is a Week 2 game against the Washington Commanders the biggest game in Dan Campbell's career?
Because it's all about moving forward. You start 0-2, then you get questions, you get derailed. Now you're still going to be on the track. It's going to take you a longer time to get everybody back in to believe in your message. Sam Flannel nailed it. Is Dan Campbell a WWE wrestler? Is he a motivational speaker? Is he a head coach? Now, you want him to be all three, but right now the least of it is a head coach, and we need to see more. That's why, because we're going to need to see improvement. They need to win games. If this team's going to be any better than they were last year, everybody has them starting at least 1-1 and not losing this game. That's why it's the biggest game.
And it sets you back a little bit. It does.
It will set you back, because is he on the hot seat to get fired? No. Neal already told you he signed a 6-year deal. But do the skeptics of, is this just a dog and pony show? Do they have the right guys in place? Is his message, is he the right guy? The questions with a win don't have to be answered.
No, absolutely. I'm talking about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast is called This is the F Word. help spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions that are plaguing our community. Go to thesportsma.com if you're struggling. If you know somebody else who's struggling, thesportsma.com, the sports marketing agency, they are here to help.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
The Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling game. 2 ways to play: $12 unlimited open play or $120 lane reservation for up to 10 people. You also have the $2 mystery beer machine and full bar. You can bring any kind of food you want, no hassle, no fuss. So if you want to check out the Fulling Warehouse or get any more information, check it out at FullingWarehouse.com. Again, that is FullingWarehouse.com.
Coming on the stretch, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty here in the house. Sam Flannel, BMG, Big Mike Gentry, the Candy Corn Lava here in the house as well. And big shout out, by the way, too. And since it doesn't matter for the Detroit Tigers, this is one Astros pitcher that I would get behind today. Hunter Brown will be getting the start for the Astros, native of St. Clair Shores, Michigan, went to Lakeview High School where he was a catcher and a pitcher. He's come up from AAA for the Astros, so he'll be getting the start. And, you know, these big games for the Astros, they're playing for something. So props to him. Hope the family makes it out. And you know what? I hope he pitches really well. Not like it'll be hard to. Tigers got shut out again
Shut him out
yesterday.
again.
Shut him out
go.
again, man. Yeah, whatever.
Do it.
Whatever. No, a lot of success, man. I'm pulling for him. I don't think that's wrong.
No, not at all. Especially in this
climate
season,
of Tigers
this climate
baseball.
Of Tiger baseball. There you go.
I
Root
yeah.
for the hometown kid.
We talked about D-Mac a little bit about the Red Wings. Did want to sneak just a general philosophical Red Wings discussion. And this one was pretty good here. What do you think will play a bigger role for the Red Wings' success next year? Because I don't think it's a bill of goods to expect the Red Wings to be on the graphic as far as playoff contention goes. I don't think we're being hoodwinked a lot like we were with the Tigers. And I tried to help everybody, but you can only help people, D-Mac, that want to be helped, right? I learned that from you. So, you know, they don't have a Jamer Candelario hitting cleanup for them. They have tenable, viable, veteran, good NHL free agents that were signed. And look, 30,000 foot, D-Mac, the question, what's more important for the Red Wings to be in the mix for a playoff spot come March? Will it be the youngsters taking another step, or will it be the free agents that they sign?
No, it'll be more of what you need is you need this free agent class, the Kops, the Matas, the Sherratts, and the Kubaliks, and these guys. And it's almost, too, I throw Verana in there because you look for him to be healthy and have more of a full season. But they got to give you what you expect, right? So it's
because that's why you signed him.
Because that's why you signed him. So for the immediate playoff success, right? The development of the young guys, whether it's the Edvinsons or the Bergstroms or whoever it is, helps you fast forward the process, right? So it's the development of these guys, because you got to understand too, the Mo Siders getting in his second year, Lucas Raymond's getting in his second year, Dylan Larkin. The one thing that you added with your free agency, right, are proven NHL guys that will make the players around them better. So it's also, too, is that when you look at it, because these free agents can allow the guys who may be on your roster you haven't had the most success or haven't hit their ceilings, right? The Zadina, your guy, right? We're looking about the Verona-Zadina connection. Everybody's excited about that. But it's also the Sherratts and the Matas we got like Filip Hronek, who at one point was your pivotal quarterback of your power play, right-handed shot that put up points, and last year sort of tailed off. But it's what these free agents bring to the rest of your team and make the team better as your young guys fight for spots and show you. So to me, it's more of getting what you think you're going to get, and to add David Perron in there, obviously, too, being one of the best right-hand face-off guys, but power play specialist. Now you're speaking my language. Power play specialist.
Now you're speaking my language, D-Mac. And real quick, too, I just want to address this before we get towards the season or get to the point where we're going to talk some Red Wings on the show. When new information presents itself, I'm allowed to change my opinion. So I'm going to give my statement on Filip Zadina right now. Now that the rookie contract is over, he's no longer number 6 or number 7 overall pick. I forget which one.
6.
Number 6 overall pick. He's no longer the number 6 overall pick, even though he is. But on the books, he's not. Now he's a sub $2 million a year third-line salary player. So now that the information has changed, the expectations change to the point where with Zadina, there's a lot of high upside given what the financial commitment is to him. So therefore, I have recalibrated my Zadina situation. He is not on the hot seat for me anymore because his salary's in line with the third-line guy with the potential to have a 20-goal season. Right? That's what it is. I no longer expect it from him. I'm no longer calling for it. It has changed because with new information, I reserve the right to change my opinion. The entire structure of Zadina has changed now. So, with that being said, I'm cool with it.
So, great. Awesome. I agree. It'll be interesting, and sometime it's the confidence that Steve Yzerman has to re-sign him to that second deal, which should amplify if you don't like him. Like Suyu says, he's a bum, and yes, he's proven that. Maybe not the first overall guy coming out of the Montreal saying I'm going to own everybody else, but the potential's still there.
Right, and that's
what do you think? Is young guys answer? What do you?
Oh yeah, well, that's because it's 1919. I was playing
1919.
If Steve Yzerman says, "Yeah, I want to re-sign the guy," then okay, let's ride. Obviously, you see, it goes back to that. You see something.
Pay that man his money.
Yeah, no, I think it's 1,000,000% the free agents because we've seen a team of the kids, and we've seen the results for it. There were flashes last year. They were on the graphic in January. They were behind Boston, a couple points behind Boston, a couple games at hand. They got cooked by Boston. They never recovered from that January. It was a seminal moment of the season, D-Mac, for me anyway. That was the day the music died. These free agents, the pieces, the individual skill sets that they bring were so sorely lacking. And when I would go to Red Wings games and sit there with my friends, or when you and I would sit on this stage, the set, and talk about Red Wings games, there were a couple overriding concerns that drove me crazy. They never won faceoffs. And I guess that's
puck possession.
Yeah, that's my geeky little analytical thing. But it turns out it ain't so geeky because look what Sergei's doing over in the KHL in overtime.
Oh, what do you do, Neal?
The most brilliant I think this could revolutionize overtime hockey too. I think
this is sort of the new age to pulling your goalie with 3.5 minutes left in the game, not waiting until the last minute of the game. But
it's the next thing. Yeah, it's the next thing in that. Where, for those of you that missed it, KHL overtime's 3-on-3. If Sergei's team wins a faceoff, he brings the goalie out and puts another attacker out there.
4-on-3.
4-on-3.
If you have puck possession and don't give it up and put it in the back of the other team, is that what happens? You win.
You win. If they don't get the puck, they can't beat
Fetrov.
You. And if there's an offside, if there's an icing, he puts the goalie back out there. and waits until they have the puck again. And when they get the puck, he brings the goalie. It's incredible.
And that goes to show you the trust in his players also, too.
Sure.
Right? And the fact that they all built in. But, we watched it work firsthand, and I would not be shocked. You're
going to see that in the NHL this year.
Copycat. Sports are copycat leagues.
Because I know I would be doing it.
Hockey's a big copycat league, too.
Yeah, because I know I would be doing it. YouTube chat thread, Kevin and Muskegon. Got my Woodward Sports shirt on, waiting for my heavyweight shirt in the mail. That's big time, man. Tweet a photo. Tag us in it, man. We'll give that a retweet. Appreciate you tapping in to the merchandise. Stephen Baffy, there's no way to watch the Wings without a Bally sub, correct? Yeah, Stephen, that's it, except for the games of the national game on ESPN+.
Which, by the way, we were going to talk about this a litlittle bit after break, is that the Red Wings got props on national television through the ESPN and TNT this year. By being on, some of the most, I think, 14 games and stuff like that. But if you're tapped in, then you want to be tapped into one of the 168 Lady Janes everywhere, because you come to Lady Janes for an award-winning haircut experience, and it's your last month. Yeah, the month of September is your last month to register, win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Lady Janes Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. It's wicked awesome.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
You're an ugly guy, and that's okay, because you've outkicked your coverage with your significant other. Well, that's good news for you. Their hotness and your notness could get you front row tickets. The Woodward Sports Network is giving you a chance to sit front row for the Detroit versus Washington football game. That's right. We're looking for the ugliest guy and the hottest girl. So fellas, come on. If you know you've outkicked your coverage, here's your chance. Post a pic of you and your superior-looking partner on Twitter or Instagram with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Follow us and tag @Woodward Sports. Hurry, because we'll be selecting a winner September 16th. We can't wait to see you. Well, her. From the network that always outkicks the competition. Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, the number one site for all of your game day betting activity. Play-by-play updates, live scores, and probably the most important part of this, guys, the best price on every game for multiple sports books. I was bumping around the site. You can customize the sports books, line them up with the accounts that you have. Then you're not running to an app, closing it out, open it up, go to the next one, go to the third one. Oh, the price is better the second one. You got to open it back up. By then the price changed. There's none of that with oddstrader.com. When I give you a get right special, we're 20-7, documented. Hurry up and get that bet in before we move the lines for sports books across the country, because the word is out in the streets, and you can do it with oddstrader.com. Go to oddstrader.com or download the app and find your best bet. Final segment of the show. Got a question for a four-time Stanley Cup champion? Fire away. Ask DMAC in the YouTube chat thread. And I'm laughing at, we got BMG here on the ones and twos, Big Mike Gentry, who is hockey elite. And I'd be remiss. You have some news, too, about the Red Wings, because they asked the question about the Bally's thing. You have some news about the Red Wings in television this year.
Yeah, the Red Wings will have 14 national televised games, as well as Mo Seider was named the 49th best player in the NHL by the NHL Network.
Rookies or vets?
It was
everybody.
It was everyone.
The whole.
No. I'm saying rookies are the veteran free agents that were signed. Who's more important?
Definitely the veterans. When you sign a guy like Sherrod that's going to be coaching Mo Seider, and then you immediately get Perron and Kopp that will be immediate second line players, and we didn't even have a second line last year or second line caliber players. So when you get them to pair with Verana, it's immediately.
You're right, bro.
Well,
who was the second line player?
Banging. Well, I was told it's Zadina.
Zadina, I would still give a time, but he's gonna make some noise this year.
But he wasn't a second line. I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Not,
he wasn't a second line player.
Year. No,
I know that's
no.
mean or whatever. Like we've established, that's mean when you ask a question of it. But he wasn't.
Nope.
I think he would be the first one to tell you.
Yep.
So it is.
Excuse me. Does it not set up, though, Neal, that when we're looking bigger picture with this, that where the war chest is and the money and all this stuff, that this team is 1A center away, a top center guy away, probably free agent, and a top defenseman? If this team plays out and the veterans come in and do that leadership and the guys that you have, you get some expectations, plus all the youth that we have as the prospect tournament kicks out, you're in such a great position. But you don't, the luxury, right? If everybody doesn't realize, Stevie's put it that it can be you that we've selected and believe in and drafted, or I'll go get it myself.
It's up to you.
What a
as I always like
luxury.
to say,
hashtag watch me play 1990.
When I'm dealing with like the internet company or a cell phone company or anybody where like when your contract runs up, they always try to sneak, they always try to jack you for a new rate. I say, well, no, like I just want it to be what it was. And if it's not, then we're going to go in a different direction. I said, this isn't up to me. It's up to you.
Right.
You decide.
This is a you issue.
Yeah. When you say, we'll run it back. Cool. What do you need from me?
Yeah.
And if we don't, then I'll say, well, I'll take a look at another option.
Yeah.
It's not up to me.
Nope.
It's up to you.
At
That's
the
what
end
Steve
of the
Yzerman
day.
does. He's negotiating his new internet plan.
The self-awareness, Neal. I'd bring a tear to my eye, kid.
In the YouTube chat thread, we're doing the Ask DMAC. Oh, real quick, Robert Colosia, Woodward Sports. Neal, please clarify if Big Mike Gentry's talking about chocolate-flavored candy corn or chocolate-covered candy corn. This savage, this degenerate, this human piece of feces
I assumed
is
it was chocolate-covered.
No,
candy.
it's
No,
not.
he's
It's
talking
not.
about chocolate-flavored candy corn.
Okay.
So
I
it's
might
just
be
a
even more
normal
intrigued.
candy corn, but like half of it's the regular one, and then the other half of it is chocolate flavored.
Right.
It's not chocolate
Yeah,
covered.
the chemically produced chocolate-flavored wax, right?
Whatever.
Right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that
I don't know
is
how
that
it's
accurate?
produced. It's just damn good, Neal.
Is that accurate,
It's just damn
BMG?
good. Yeah, it could be.
Don't be mad at me because you're a heathen. I feel like I'm talking to my teenage son right now. You're mad at me because of your actions. That's my favorite when my son gets it.
Oh, yeah.
You did this, not me. I was sitting here trying to watch the game. Your mother just asked you to put your clothes away. Why are you mad at me? I don't want to deal with this. Because of you, I have to. I was drug into this. Same concept with your chocolate flavored candy corn. It is the exact same. Ask DMAC, the away fan. Ask DMAC. In as much detail as you can, take us through your first NHL goal.
Oh, yeah. It was at Joe Louis Arena. The puck, I was on the line with Sean Berg, God rest his soul, and Keith Primo. The puck exited against Winnipeg. The puck exited into the neutral zone. Primo got it up to, or Bersey got it up to Primo. It was like a 2-on-1. Threw it across to me, top of the right circle. Went low glove on Bob Essenza, who would later be a teammate of mine because he was traded for Tim Shovelday that year. But beat him low glove about my 5th or 6th game in the league.
Did you guys win that game?
Yeah, 6-4. Still got the plaque and the puck and
Do
stuff.
you really?
Like that. Yeah.
How
it's
often
so
you
cool.
look at it? Like for real?
It's in storage, so.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not hanging up.
Gotcha. So it's not out there like visible or anything.
But
Just
I
wondering
don't-
how often you go back on that.
I know where it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not the greatest at hanging that stuff up. It's all around. Try to save that stuff. I do have the biggest one I have is the jersey and the stick and the puck of the scoring the Stanley Cup clinching goal. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Brandon Katz. The NHL is a great product. The marketing promotion of the league has not done well. Agree, 1,000%, Brandon. That's
one of your good takes, bro.
That's their Achilles heel. I just cycled down. I miss who sent this one in, but who's the worst roommate on the road? Ask DMAC.
Probably me.
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness, exactly. Drapes was a great roommate if you didn't like the remote control. But he is older, so you have to remember he is older, so he gets that. But no, the synergy of having on the room. I had some great roommates. I roomed with Shanny during the 2002 playoff run. Probably since half year of the season, I roomed with Luke Robitaille. So we had our own little ice cream routine in the playoffs before, at night before bed and stuff like that. So he was fun. So I'd say me. I win.
Real quickly, because we're up against it. Suyu says, "What D-Mac? Ask D-Mac. What's the most wild Bob Probert story?"
Well, you'll have to stick to this is not broadcast for air, but I got a lot of them. And you know what? Tune in tomorrow. If you remind me, I'll get back to it.
There it is.
I'll think of one.
For Darren McCarty, for Sam Flannel, for BMG, Big Mike Gentry, the Candy Corn Lava. My name is Neal Ruhl. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Woodward, in the YouTube chat thread, all of it. Remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.